Welcome to Retirement is Underrated. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm hoping somebody will join me, but I wanted to do a live chat today. Just on the topic of, hey, simply Debbie Sue, hey, good to see you. I thought we'd do a chat on best intentions. So, we're gonna. Oh, Nancy. Hey, Nancy, I just saw you posted a new video. I'll have to check that out. Good stuff. Yeah, I was gonna go to the barber today, and actually I posted a video about it, a short. I had got to because I know it's time to get a haircut when it starts looking like this, when the beard is like poof, and the hair's out of control. Um, so I went down to the barber, and the video that I shared on the short tells about it. But my barber passed away in June, and I had no idea he was cutting my hair since 2004. And you kind of get used to somebody after a while that he's been doing it so long. And I went there. Yeah, I went there, and then he had rented out the space next to him. It's just a little place, and he had rented out the little office next to him. And so I asked the guy. I said, "Gee, is Botsy cutting?" The guy's name is Botsy. He was 83, and I said, "Oh, is Botsy working today?" He said, "Oh no, he died in the end of June." So, like a lot of people who he cut their hair, most of us didn't know. So slowly but surely, people are showing up at his barber shop, and you know, to get their hair cut, only to find out that he's gone. I actually lucked out. Oh, oh, not Potsy, Botsy with a B. Just changed the P for B. He was quite a character. He was 83, and oh yeah. So he was a good guy. I mean, he loved to, kind of jab at all the guys. He knew the locals, and he would jab at them and kind of make fun of them. And they would have this back and forth, who could best do with, getting their jabs in. So it was a great shop. But I lucked out in that I looked around for a barber, and I was looking for some, like an old time shop where they do haircuts, like old school. And so I actually found the barber that used to cut Botsy's hair. So I'll give that a shot. CG anime fan. Hey, tired, inspired, stream. Yeah, it's nice to meet you, CG anime. What's your first name? What's your name, CG? I'm gonna try to keep note of who's who, and then keep a notebook. This way, I could actually call you if your name's Steve or Tim or Bob. I can actually remember. And I'm writing it down because, I have a terrible name, so memory for names. So as soon as I see that, I'm going to jot it down. I'm going to keep a little book next to me, and I'm going to put that in. Or just call you CG. Okay, we'll just call you CG. We'll keep us guessing, huh? Yeah, it was. How did this time work out for you guys? First of all, I put a survey out there as to what was the best time to do it, and I don't want to interfere with Buzz's retirement garage or Steve's retirement corner or even Evie's uh, live pod stream. So, you think guys think 7 o'clock's better, or we could try 6 o'clock. I'll try to make it through Monday through Wednesday, and then we'll see where we go from there. But I thought it would be good to talk about best intentions. How many of you have ever had best intentions to do stuff? And I'm finding that more and more in retirement. I had the best intention to, I start my days, it's like, oh, I'm going to get all this stuff done. And then it's like the usual, oh, okay, simply, I'm usually flexible. Yeah, it's some days, I like Steve's retirement corner where he, gives himself at least 1 or 2 days off a week. And then, if he feels like another day off, he'll take it. So, being retired is a whole different ball of wax. It's not the same thing with work day to day. And Nancy, I've been a stay-at-home mom for 18 years. Wow, you're like Lisa, my wife Lisa. She was a stay-at-home mom. Now, how old is your oldest child, Nancy? Yeah, Lisa was, my wife was home for all those years. My two kids' names are John and Gabrielle. My son John is 27. He's in Europe now. And my daughter Gabrielle, she's graphics. Oh, 36. Oh, wow. Okay. Is anybody still in school, or did you have a little spread? I forget whether you had kids. I forget whether you had anybody when you were in Boston when we knew each other. If you had a child then, do you remember Amanda? Yes. Okay, yeah. It's been a while. Amanda, yep. It's been, what, a couple of years at least? You know, yeah. Oh, Evie. Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining, Evie. We were just chatting. I had put a video, Evie, on the shorts. My barber was going to get a haircut today, and he actually passed away. So I told the story about that. But he was 83. And tracking with Deb and Mike. Hey guys, thanks for joining. I'm glad you joined the live. Let's see. Nancy said she has 5 kids, 36, 27, 19, 18. Wow, that's quite the spread. And all homeschool. Oh man, you were good. Lisa and I had a debate whether or not we were going to do homeschool, and we went with the public school just because we weren't sure we could pull it off. And CG anime fan. I hope your barber rests in peace. Yeah, I hope so too. He was a good guy. He was old school. He collected different barber poles. So he always, his sign on the outside of the building was, "If the poles are spinning, I'm a trimming." So he had old barber shop poles. There, he had 2 or 3 of them, and somewhere in his shop. Let's see. Oh yes, thank you, Abby. Yes, be sure to hit like and subscribe and all of that good stuff that we're supposed to say. How did you how'd you guys like the thumbnail? I actually tried that. I forget whom, somebody mentioned it to me to try. What is it? What is the tool? It was called Chat G. Oops, where'd it go? Oh, did I lose my live stream? Hold on. Too many. I'm sorry, guys. I was clicking the tabs on the computer. Chat GPT. Let's see. Best intentions every day. I have to try one major thing I want to do, and then a secondary if I have time. Yeah, it's true. Let's see. Already liked, and I'm not retired. Oh, CG, you're still working. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I, you know, my retirement was under duress. I kind of tell the story. I was 59 and a half when I retired, software developer for hospital information systems. But I was so stressed out at that point. But luckily, I had saved over the years. So, uh, after this talking with my wife and looking at things, as long as I could replace my salary, I, I had to stop. The stress was just so much. Software industry is just crazy. I don't know what you do for a living, CG, but it just got to the point where I was having work mirrors. In fact, now let's see. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you have to let me know later, Evie, what you think. It was through Chat GPT, so I'm kind of learning, how these things go, how to create a thumbnail, how to, get the word out there about my channel. You see these different video feeds about, how to promote your channel and, what to do, when to use hashtags, when not to use hashtags. And boy, it's crazy. My my, my head is going to do a spinning around, where it does a 360. I don't know. You know, I'm amazed that I have as many. Let's see. I'm too young to be retired. I don't have a job, but oh, I'm sorry that you have disabilities. I'm sorry that you got that challenge. I understand to a certain point. I was actually CG. I don't know if you were. Let's see. So much. Yes, so much to learn on YouTube. Yeah. Actually, back in 1990, it was like 2 months after my wife and I were married. At the end of, you know, we were married at the end of June 30th, and 2 months later, I was activated for Desert Shield, and then I was injured along the way. So I've had back problems continually for the last 35 years. So get it. I don't know what, you know, you know, it's hard when you have any sort of physical ailment or just or retarded's part. Sam is a great guy. I love watching Sam. Sam's got a lot of irons in the fire. Sam is a very, let's see, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm kind of bouncing all. I'm looking at the comments, trying to comment on different things. Yeah, so yeah, I'm sorry you're going through the, you know, you know, the disability or whatever you're struggling with, but I understand things can be a challenge sometimes. But you're in good company. We love having you here. I was watching retirement channels way before I was retired. And I even forget how I ran into Buzz's channel originally or who came first. But eventually, through Buzz's channel, I kind of got to know Evie and different folks. And, it's been wonderful. And then I think Simply Debbie Sue was through Evie's channel. And I forget all of the stories, but it's been wonderful. Honestly, guys, this has just been a wonderful experience. Let's see. Evie just said I started using Chat GPT. I like it. I don't pay too much attention on how you um, it on YouTube. I just keep posting when I'm having fun. Yeah, that's the thing I have to keep on reminding myself because I have to watch my sometimes you want to be competitive and say you want to do great. You want to do that one video and you got a million subscribers and all this silliness. But honestly, it's just been fun. A lot of fun with doing the videos. It's also given me a good platform for just expressing the different thoughts and things I've been thinking about, the experiences that I've had. So I've got lots of things to talk about, lots of things I've learned from folks. Let's see. CG Anime. Sam is friends with Renee and Todd from Rat Stash. Yes, Rat Stash. Yep, I've been watching some of their stuff. That's how I found out about his channel. And you were commenting on Sam's live stream and how you found your channel. Sam's an amazing guy. If any of you haven't seen his channel yet, please, I'll have to put it in maybe in the show notes or something. What the URL to his channel? I don't remember it offhand, but Sam is an incredible guy. He is a go-getter. I mean, he has let's see, he has the online business that he does. He has some little gift boutique shops that he does. He owns multiple homes, and he's got, what is it? Oh, it's eBay that he does. I mean, he is a resourceful guy. I see that you're close to 100 subscribers. Yeah, I hope I get to 100 soon too. What should I get, balloons or something when I get to 100? It's a miracle that I've got people watching me. But I'm very encouraged, honestly. This is just wonderful, because I love to chat. Oh, let's see, EV. I'm a super small channel, but I think networking to find your community plays a huge part. We can tell each other about lighting and sound, etc. Absolutely, Evie. Even recently, after watching yourself and others, I picked up. I had to go a little cheaper just because I'm still I'm working on the house, fixing it up. But that's kind of what I'm using. It's called Hollyland. They were about $70, and it's got a couple different hookups in it. It's got one for the USB-C and one for the other iPhone hookup, and then it's got two mics. So that I did one video with it, and it turned out pretty good. And actually, I did a test where I was like 100 feet away, and it picked it up. Maybe not 100 feet, but maybe 15 feet away. But it worked pretty good, so I'm excited because I tend to have a lower voice. Uh, when I used to speak in church, everybody'd say, "What'd you say? What? Huh? Huh?" Even with a mic, I'd have to make sure I was talking into the microphone. So this has always been the challenge. So I'm grateful for that. But learning a ton of stuff, and I just love watching everybody's content. Yes, Sam, and then actually Steve's Retirement Corner. He's actually got a second channel that I happened to see his other link, Steve's Corner. I guess where he doesn't post one thing on one channel, he can kind of get away with posting something on the other channel. And sometimes it's funny because he'll have the sign for Steve's Retirement Corner behind him when he's doing Steve's Corner. So what a great guy. I just love listening to him. To me, it's like sitting on the porch talking to old friends. and just chatting with one another and just catching up on how life's treating us. You know, uh, there was, let's see, what was I thinking? Oh, Tim, that's good, Mike. We all want to see what everyone is doing, what fills their days. That's what I like. I get to know the person. I call Tim Rick on one of my lives. Yeah, I've got a notebook. I forget whether it's yourself. I think you talked about writing down names, and I've got to do it too. And I'm going to do it after this. Is just make sure I've got everybody straight because I'd forget my own name if it wasn't on my license. So anyway, yeah. So the whole thing, even thinking about great intentions, that's sometimes you have all these great intentions to do things and projects, especially around the house. Now that I'm retired, I have all these great aspirations, and I've had to kind of, if I can accomplish one thing in a day, kind of like Nancy, if you can accomplish one thing, then I feel good about it. So each day I make sure I accomplish at least one thing. So we did a bunch of work on the basement. I just did a video with me out by the garage, and I kind of walked around our garage, and I think I horrified a couple people with the amount of stuff that I had. You know, it was funny because the video was called "Decluttering and Conversations," and I had so many rows of boxes and everything. It hardly looked like it was decluttering anything. It more looked like I was a borderline hoarder. Let's see. Um, Simply Debbie Sue says, I try to get a small goal so I don't feel bad if I don't get it done. Absolutely. Yeah. And I started, let's see, CG. I started doing videos on my channel in 2023. Okay. So as a fellow content creator, I wish your channel lots of success. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Evie, did you post about your live? I did. Let's see. I think you did because Debbie Sue knew. I just did a live and went back to the post and added to the link. And Nancy said, years go by, we accumulate. Yeah, I did. For the first couple ones, I actually did kind of spur the moment, which it was a wonder I had anybody join me because it was just, let's start a live and see what happens. And it went better than I could have thought. I'm actually doing this one on my computer so I could see the chat going. I'm actually sitting at my desk, but I was talking to somebody and I did a survey, so I'm going to try to give people at least a little bit of heads up. I'm kind of trying to feel the waters because I don't want to stop on anybody's live or, certainly don't want to do it while Evie's doing one or Steve or Rick or anybody else or Buzz. So maybe I'll shoot for Tuesday nights at 6 or 7 o'clock, but I'll try to give a heads up. How long do you guys think would be good for a heads up on video? This time it was only maybe an hour and a half, but do you think I should do longer? What's good form to give people a heads up? Just put it in the chat if you have anything. But yeah, great intention. So our goal here is just to get the house fixed up. For years, with my wife being at home as a full-time mom, and then she got a job right after the kids were in college and doing their thing. She went back to work, so she's actually still working. So I forget somebody. I would mention that in one of the videos I attended, and it said I was a kept man. So yes, my name is Tim, and I'm a kept man. And I had to look up what in the world is a kept man. I guess a kept man is somebody whose wife works for benefits, and so I am a very kept man, and I'm very happy. Lisa is a hard worker, and we're hoping at some point soon, maybe if we get to relocate somewhere, um, she'll retire full time, and then we can continue on her ventures. It's quite the transition. I haven't retired in 2023. My first year was tied up with some other obligations, which I won't get into here, but extracurricular activities that I was involved with. But, so I retired from work, but I didn't fully get to relax and retire until I stepped away from it in 2024. Then I've really got the chance to kind of, de-escalate, not be as wound up. And, so I did let's see, I did that, and then I started working on the house. So I actually found a fellow to work on the house through. I was selling a piece of equipment through the neighbor next door app where you can sell some stuff, and I sold a computer router where you can hook the cables in and connect all your computers. And I was looking what the guy did, and he was actually a realtor. So I had him come here, take a look at what the house was valued at, and then, I said, geez, do you know anybody who does construction or work? Because it was so hard to get anybody to do work on the house, whether it's electrician, plumber, or anything. He says, well, my son does. And since that time, I've had him over. The guy does incredible work. And I told him, I said, I'm not giving your name out to anybody until you're all done here. Because he does such good work. I'm afraid that if I let his name out, I'll never see him again. So we're getting stuff done. It costs a lot of money fixing houses. I can write a mean check, but construction or home remodeling is probably not my greatest gift. But let me catch up on the comments here. Let's see, post about live. You just go buy and accumulate. Yes, and Nancy, we accumulated a lot. My mom passed away in 2007. We got a bunch from that. Lisa's mom passed away in 2013. We got a bunch of stuff from that. My neighbor moved next door. He dumped a bunch of stuff on me. So my basement was full of stuff. We had all sorts of stuff accumulated. And then, of course, we had stuff from when the kids were young. And they did a bunch of accumulation of things. Although I'll say my son, uh, when he was younger, it was funny, my son, when he was younger, his room was a disaster. He had so many things collected. He had stuff everywhere. And I don't know how many of you remember the show Hoarders? It may have been on A&E or one of those channels, but it was about people who could accumulate too much and extreme. And so I said, "Hey, John." So I showed him Hoarders, and he was instantly converted. From then on in, he was a minimalist, and ever since then, very he's a very minimal guy. He doesn't collect much, and he tries to get rid of as much as he can. So I kind of look back at that and kind of laugh that he became a minimalist. He was an instant convert to minimalism, and when he saw that, so let's see, Evie, I'm bad about the heads up. I look to see if everyone is live and if no one is live, or if no one is live. Yep. Nancy, so you're 3 years, Nancy, doing this. I say you picked the best time. Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing that. I was doing software development from home. I actually worked over in that corner there. I had my work set up, but I hated, my career was just, it was time, and I'm enjoying my best life now. Let's see. Nancy, think it's best to set a schedule for our lives. I haven't done it. You think it's best to set a schedule for our lives? Nancy, Evie's saying. Nancy, do you think it's best to set a schedule for our lives? I haven't done that yet. I don't know. That's a good question. I think I need to have some schedule, but not too much. I don't want to be overscheduled. So many people are, let's see, Simply W Sue. So many people are doing lives all the time. I would just plan one and pick time and go with it. Yep, that's what I'm trying to do. Is just do one thing a day. Evie will be back in 10 minutes. Okay, we're looking forward to having you back. Simply W Sue says okay. Nancy at Evie, pick a time and frequency. Yep, to keep getting a schedule of doing it. That's hopefully what I'll do with these lives and just. Oh yeah, yes, that show. So you've seen that too, Simply W Sue. Yeah, Hoarders is that was intense, and boy, these folks had also, and it was interesting. They had a few episodes of areas that I was familiar with, like Plymouth, Massachusetts. There was an episode, and a few places in Massachusetts. And I know that place. And let's see, Nancy, maybe let's see. We have another channel, Maplewood Homestead. Oh, okay, that's your new channel. So Nancy, you use your one channel for, well, maybe Nancy, I'll let you describe in the chat what your channel's all about, and just so people get a heads up, what you do, and I love the way you do your videos, Nancy. You really got it together with the way you put it together, and it's inspired. So I'm learning a lot by watching it. And let's see. Yeah, you have to do Hoarders in small doses, and sometimes with that show, it gets so well. Hoarders got so intense. It was just like, oh wow, I can't watch this now. It got pretty intense. So I do it in dribs and drabs. And CG Animate, thanks for giving me a shout out. I hope it does help. Yeah, thanks for doing that. I mean, I'm trying to get different channels on the bottom, and I finally figured out how to do recommended channels. And my wife just pointed out that I misspelled again something on my channel, so I got to go back and fix that. Guys, I am the world's worst speller. Honestly, thank goodness that there's spell check on computers now, because I'll be typing, I don't know, like 20% of the words I'm typing I'll get wrong. And then I've got the Echo device, uh, and I'm asking it how to spell words all the time because I can't spell at all. You know, it's time for a haircut. My nose is getting itchy from the beard hair. Oh, you got a sticky keyboard, huh? Yeah, my it was funny. I was just talking with speaking of keyboards, my brother, there's actually five boys in my family. Uh, I'm the youngest of five boys. My second oldest brother just passed away in 2024, but my oldest brother he's living in Western Massachusetts, and he had managed to spill a glass on his table all over his keyboard. Needless to say, that laptop was not functioning anymore. So I converted an old computer for him to run. Let's see, what did I put on? A Linux distribution for him just to keep it simple, because he had Windows 10 and it was already past date, and the computer hardware was not compatible. So let's see. Oh, thanks for putting that out there. Um, yeah, go ahead and check out Nancy's channels. It's really good. Um, so yeah, great intentions. So yeah, things usually take longer than we think. Oh, okay. Oh, thanks, Nancy. Yeah, he was sick. That was my brother Ken. He was sick for quite a long time, but he was 71. So, and my barber was 83. So you kind of start thinking about it. It's like, okay, I said it on the little video I put out today. It's like, make the most of your opportunity every day. And, if you get a chance to talk with people, or, get to know people better, or just chat, do it. It's wonderful. We were doing some clean out in our garage, and my wife Lisa was helping me out. And we got through a bunch of stuff. It's funny, we put a bunch of stuff out in the corner. So we were going through, because we're putting everything we're taking out of the house and back in, and then put it in the garage. That's why it looks the way it does. And so I wanted to take this huge 6-foot table out. It was a folding table, didn't need it anymore. So I took that out. My kids had two Casio keyboards that they had since they were kids. Actually, one came from my mother-in-law, Lisa's mom, and then the other one they got from somebody who gave it to us. So we had the keyboard stand. So I was putting those out, and then we had three snow shovels. Thank you. That we had never used, that we put on the corner. And sure enough, my neighbor from 3 doors down. Um, I call him Ted. His name's not Ted, but I had gotten to know him over the years, and so and I had Ted and myself. We have the gift of gab. So we and Lisa, my wife and I were out there on the street corner, putting all this stuff out for anybody to take it. And in my area, if you put something on the corner at the end of the driveway, that stuff is gone. Lickety splits. You have to watch out that you're not working on the yard and leave something out for a second. Somebody might take it. People are very resourceful around here. But anyway, we got my friend Ted. He came by, and we started chatting, and then Lisa and myself, we leaned against the table. It became a long chat, and he was out collecting as they say. I think Ted's a hoarder. I only got to see a little bit of his house, but he had a bunch of stuff that he had thrifted or got from yard sales or something and packed in the back of his car. And then he had a bunch of stuff in his trunk. And then he was trying to figure out how to get it to his house without his wife knowing. And then here I am. And he took everything that we put out on the corner. And he came back with his truck to get the big table. So he's quite a character. But we talked for the longest time. And it was wonderful. And, sometimes folks can get, as they retire and then, they're not able to get out as much. Uh, just somebody to talk to and somebody to listen. It's just such a good thing. And we talked for the longest time. I showed him what we were doing around the house, and he's great. He's a retired firefighter, so it's quite the character. He plays the piano really well, and it's a pleasure knowing him. But he's got to be close to 80 now too, and so we're that's kind of where things are at. What do you guys got going on yourselves? What other things do you have best intentions with doing? Or we can move on to another topic. There you go. This is what I love about the chats. We can kind of take a left at Albuquerque and take the discussion just another direction. So it doesn't have to be only about best intentions. Although if you look at that stack of books right there, you're talking about best intentions. That's what and I got my Kindle device over here. Kindles are wonderful. This was the Oasis, but I've been working on this one book for months now, and so I've got to get back to reading a whole lot more. Are you guys readers at all? Do you read a lot of books, or what kind of books do you guys read, if any, or what are some hobbies that you guys like to do? My hobby these days has just been working around the house, but I take some downtime too. And I also, let's see, CG anime. I'm still getting over a cold, so I'm gonna get going. Okay, well, CJ, thank you, CG. I'll get it right here. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you coming and supporting the channel. I write Southern Short. Oh, really? Oh, that's so cool, Debbie Sue. Southern short stories. Oh, wow, that's so. Do you publish any of your stories, or do you put them in a collection and put them in a book, or that would be wonderful to hear about. Actually, my wife Lisa really wants to do writing, so I'd be curious how you got into writing, or if you've always been a writer, or how you get your inspiration. I have to tell Lisa about that. Yeah, my wife and I are hoping that we make it down one day. Our dream is to get down to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at some point. Let's see, I have a whole collection, but I haven't published it. Yeah, boy, if you could publish, that would be wonderful. Share those stories with folks. That's so satisfying. Let's see, I've started our reading. Oh, okay. All right. I'll have to get over there simply to be so and listen to some. So do you have them on a playlist for like Fridays with Debbie Sue, or do you break that out that way? Talk about, what I have best intentions of too. And I don't know if you guys have run into this. As our community grows and as we get to know one another, I've had really, and I keep on adding channels. Like, oh, this is great. I want to follow this. And I'm behind on watching your guys' videos. It is, it, I got to pick out a day maybe, or maybe an hour or two at a time just to catch up on all the videos. I feel bad not getting to them all, but I get it. I don't know how Buzz or, the rest of you who have a large following at this point ever get to watch everybody's video. And I know my intention is good. I really want to watch it because I'm fascinated. I want to hear what you guys have to say, but sometimes I just get woefully behind. So that's, yeah, I just gotta you pick and choose and you try to catch up and stuff. Well, that's a good thing. I mean, when I can always go through what I'm subscribed to and then pick somebody's channel and then catch up on a few of the videos. Um, it's, yeah, so it's been good. Anyway, guys, so I might wrap this up in a couple minutes, but any other things guys want to talk about? Um, I'm trying to think what would be a nice topic for the next time we get together. What would you guys like to talk about? Or maybe you've got questions for me, you know, maybe questions about who I am or where I came from or what's my story more or, different things. That'd be great. Love to hear. My brother, by the way, still my middle brother. So I have five boys in the family. And so, so bucket list. Yeah, Nancy, that's a good point. I don't think I have a bucket list. I really, Lisa and myself want to travel all 50 states. We want to see all of the states. So I think that'd be a good one for me to work on. I know we want to see all 50 states. We, Lisa and I would like to also get over to Europe. I was over to Europe once back in around the year 2000 when it changed over in 1999 to 2000. And I was over in Sunderland, England, putting in a computer system that we had developed at my company. And it was interesting. We were in Sunderland, England, on the North Shore of England, where Sting, the musician, is from. And it was really an interesting spot because we were right on the ocean and right on the North Sea. And I remember this huge jetty that would go on, huge jetties, and with a lighthouse at the end of it. And I was asking somebody there about it. He said, yeah, once in a while we lose one of the guys off the end of the jetty who's fishing because they have big waves coming over in the North Sea. And it just takes a couple of fishermen every so often. So, yeah, we like to see different things. My son's over in Europe right now, in Romania. So he wants us to come over and visit. So, yeah. So all sorts of things. Yeah, hobbies. I'll definitely have a lot of hobbies. I'm looking forward to actually moving out of the area we're in, but all in good time. We're in New York State, so it's really expensive in New York State. I'm probably going to put out a video at some point. The taxes in New York State are just nuts. And let's see, that and utilities right now are just something, or a pain point we're experiencing up here in the upstate New York area. In fact, our taxes just went up about $1,250 just on the school tax. So we paid like 6,000. We went from 5,500 for school tax alone to $6,700, and then we get county tax on top of that for another 3,300, and that's going to go up. So it's probably going to go to $11,000 a year for just taxes. That's no benefits. That's not sewer. That's not lights. That's not nothing. That's just pure New York tax. And then our NYSEG electric has gone up at least, let's see, year to date from the beginning of the year until now, just between taxes and electric, we've increased our expenses by $2,500 just between the two of them. And maybe it will be more by the time the year's over. So, yeah, it's cheaper. In fact, for the same property we have here in South Carolina, we would pay about $1,000 or less. And in fact, friends of mine, their parents are in Murals Inlet in South Carolina, and they only paid $400. $400 for property taxes. And I pay over $400 just for electric bill a month. So anyway, that's why I can come to Tennessee. Yeah, I heard Tennessee is great for taxes too. I looked. In fact, I watch it. The New Retired Me. I don't know if any of you guys watch that channel. He's a guy in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I got to watching his channel. He's actually got three. I'll have to put him in my links as well. He's got quite a number of subscribers now, but he talks about retirement, and then he has a daily uh, a daily video log that he does, or a couple times a week, and then he's got a photography channel. So yeah, he's in Chattanooga. So through his videos, I've gotten to see that a lot. So we had thought if South Carolina doesn't work out, maybe Chattanooga. Are you on the east side of Tennessee, Nancy, or are you on more towards the west side? And have you been in Tennessee since Boston? Northwest. Oh, northwest or west Tennessee. Okay. How from near Mississippi? Okay. Now, how long does it take to like get from one end to the other? I'm kind of brush up on my geography of Tennessee. How long it would take to get across the state? But we intend to get down there to visit and see all the different states. So good stuff. It's a big country. I mean, when I was in the army, we traveled around the country, so I've gotten to see different places. I was out in California. I've been in Florida any number of times. Okay, so 7 hours. All right, here in New York, from Albany to Buffalo, it's about 6 hours, 6, 7 hours. So yeah, it's about similar to that then. Well, guys, I think let's see, we're at 41 minutes. Wow, I guess I can talk a lot. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off, but I'll try to get out notice for the next one a little bit more ahead of time. Um, any afterthoughts that you have, be sure to put them in the comments in the video feed. If you're watching this after the fact, thank you for watching. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button and all that good stuff. And leave any comments about the channel you like or what else you'd like to see. So again, thanks everybody. Thanks for the encouragement. I appreciate it. Thanks for being there for me. I appreciate you guys a ton, and we'll talk to you soon. Good night, everyone.